Students, families, counselors, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for this virtual college fair. This virtual college fair is for all students from New Jersey, sponsored by the New Jersey Association for College Admission Counseling. A few housekeeping items that I'd like to cover before we jump into the first institution. First and foremost, your camera and your microphone are turned off. The panelists cannot see or hear you. So if you have any questions, you're going to just make sure you type them in through that Q&A button. As I just alluded to, that Q&A is where you'll send your questions. We do have all 6 representatives here the entire duration. So you don't need to wait for the institution to be presenting to be asking your questions. You can ask your questions at any point because all 6 institutions are here and ready to answer your questions at any point. This is the first of 3 hours of this college fair tonight, so we encourage you to sign up for sessions in the next hours that follow as well. And we are recording this session and all of the sessions, and the recordings will be made available very soon at strivescan.com/New Jersey. At strivescan.com/New Jersey, they've been doing some panels earlier this week about the college search process. All of those recordings will be posted, and then all of the virtual college fair sessions will also be available for you to view. And finally, the format of this college fair is the 6x6 college fair. So what that means is you will have 6 institutions, each of them presenting for 6 minutes on their institution. They're going to tell you everything you need to know about their institution in a time frame of 6 minutes. So the order for today's presentation is going to be the University of Arizona, Caldwell University, Rider University, Chatham University, St. Elizabeth University, and Adelphi University. And with that, I'm going to have Joe go ahead and grab screen share from me from the University of Arizona. And as Joe is preparing to talk, just that final reminder, send in your questions, use that Q&A at any point for our panelists. So Joe, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Zach from StriveScan, and thank you, NJACAC, for hosting this amazing event. My name is Joe Elliott. I'm the Senior Associate Director with the University of Arizona in Tucson, Arizona. So thinking about Arizona, we are the first university in the state of Arizona. We were founded back in 1885. We are considered a top 10 public school in the West. We are a large school. We have about 50,000 total students. Thinking about our undergraduate population, it's about 36,000. We brought in our largest first-year class this past fall with about 8,500 students. But thinking about a big school, we do a good job of keeping it a lot smaller than it is. So we have a faculty to student ratio of about 15:1, and 70% of the classes at Arizona actually have less than 30 kids. What makes Tucson amazing is the weather. So being located in the Southwest, think about the nice weather that the University of Arizona has in Tucson. Average temperature is about 83 degrees, over 300 days of sunshine. I live in New Jersey year-round. Every Friday night, I look forward to pizza. But if you live in Tucson, you will be looking forward to tacos because that's probably the most popular culinary offering that you can find within Tucson. Tucson's a big city. It's about 500,000 people. And when you're thinking about where we are in the state of Arizona, we're located about 2 hours south of Phoenix. We have over 300 degrees at the University of Arizona and 20 different colleges on our 1 square mile campus. So everything and anything you need in terms of your education will be offered at the University of Arizona. We have a phenomenal degree search, which really helps you explore all of those 300 plus majors in terms of finding every single course that you would take in any one of our majors. Most popular programs at the University of Arizona are going to be anything within our health sciences, so nursing, pharmacy, public health, and medicine. Our most popular college for out-of-state students is going to be Eller College of Management, which is a top 10 ranked public business program in the United States. Wildcat life, it's really about a way of life for us at the University of Arizona. Now, being in a big city, we are the only university in that large city. So everything and anything that happens on our campus really has some sort of impact on the University of Arizona. So as a Division I school in the Pac-12, sports is a really big part of our culture. Our largest student club is called Zona Zoo. It's about 12,000 students. So folks both in the community and on our campus definitely really enjoy supporting our student athletes. Now, one of the cool traditions that we have is the Territorial Cup. It's the oldest continuous running football rivalry in the United States, something that makes Arizona a little bit more unique. And of course, we have one of the nation's largest student-run spring flings hosted at the University of Arizona every single spring, starting back up this spring. Housing and residential life, about 70% of our first year students do live on campus. But one thing to remember is we do not require or guarantee any student live on campus. And that's not really what we would love to have because of the fact that Tucson is one of the most affordable college cities in the United States. So many of our students after their first year will move off campus and live within a 5-minute walking distance of our campus itself. But those 23 dorms, they do vary in shape and size. Our smallest is Yuma, it's about 100 students. Our largest is our Honors Village, which is about 1,200 students. Students that want to live on campus, especially in their first year, all you have to do is pay a $150 non-refundable housing deposit by May 1st to ensure that you have a place to live on our campus. Financial aid is a big aspect of the University of Arizona, so we offer plenty of varieties of financial aid for all of our students. We always encourage students to submit that free application for federal student aid. That'll be able to give us the opportunity to review you for any University of Arizona aid or any federal aid. We also have an Arizona tuition award, which is going to be based off of a student's 6th semester core unweighted GPA. And I'll show you on the next slide what that GPA is made of specifically. But those dollar amounts, if you apply to the University of Arizona, you're automatically reviewed for this tuition award. And that tuition award, if you get $20,000, is going to be good per year for up to 4 years. Now, looking at the 4.0 scale, that top award is about $35,000 per year for 4 years. Our tuition this past fall was $37,200. So that was tuition and mandatory fees. So you can see those 4.0 students are coming to the University of Arizona with a less than $2,000 or $2,200 tuition bill. Now, what goes into that 6th semester core and weighted GPA? So you can see at the top, we have that English, math, lab science, the same second language, 2 years of social science, and 1 year of American history, and 1 year of fine arts. So we only use the grades from your first 3 years, so 9th, 10th, and 11th, to build a 6th semester core and weighted GPA. Our application has 3 different options. So the Common App, Coalition App, and our application. You can self-report all of your coursework, so no need to send in a transcript. You pay for the application fee, which is $85. The SAT or ACTs are optional. Personal statement is optional, and no letters of recommendation. So if you have a 4.0 or above in all of these 16 courses, you will be assured admissions to the University of Arizona. We also have some supplemental applications for our Honors College, has an early deadline of November 15th. We have plenty of supplemental applications for our BFA programs like theater, art, and dance. And then the Assault Center has its own application, which you can also utilize. Lastly, visits. We definitely offer plenty of in-person visit opportunities, along with lots of virtual opportunities that are scheduled Monday through Friday and available for all of our students. And we have plenty of recordings. And lastly, if you do have any questions, here's my contact information, and I will also throw it in the chat. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Joe, for sharing all of that information on that institution, on the University of Arizona. We are now going to go over to Caldwell University. It's a 36-hour drive from Tucson, Arizona to Caldwell, New Jersey. So Patrick, go ahead and grab screen share from me and prepare for your presentation. As you do, a reminder, students, counselors, you can use that Q&A, send in those questions to our representatives at any point, and they're happy to help. Patrick, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you so much, Zach. Whoops, can everybody hear me? Good.
Yep, we're good.
Okay. So yeah, thank you so much. It's a very far drive from Arizona, and we are a lot smaller of a university, but looking all the same to get those positive experiences in. So we are Caldwell University, located in northern New Jersey, right in downtown Caldwell. You can see here, we like to start out with this, just a little bit about us. The first one, outcomes really matter at Caldwell. 98% of our recent graduates are employed, enrolled in grad school, or in a service program. We have 31 undergraduate programs, very strong international population. A lot of our students receive some form of financial aid, and 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So really small, like I was saying, the ability to provide a lot of personalized attention. And we are 22 miles from New York City, some options to take public transportation, different things to get in there. So why Caldwell? Like I mentioned, we're a private institution. Our campus is right in downtown Caldwell. It's very scenic. It's a great location. We are faith-based. We are a Catholic university. Those small sizes, like I said, and one of our pillars is affordability, something I'll cover a little bit later, being able to assist with our students getting onto campus and succeeding. So these are our programs of study. I am not going to read all of those. There's a lot of them. I will just kind of say some of the highlighted ones. Nursing, psychology, business tend to be our top three. Biology is a great program. Criminal justice is growing, and education is always challenging for that top three spot as well. Like I mentioned before, outcomes, 98% of our students are either employed in grad school or in a service project. We have our career and planning development office. They do a great job getting our students internships, getting them different connections within the world to go out and get jobs. Even former students have come back and worked with that office and said, hey, I'm moving here. Do you know anyone who might be able to kind of help me look for jobs, find things in this field, different things like that. As I was mentioning before, a lot of our degree programs have internships. So within the business world, we've had students go with ADP, work with Nestle. In the sport management specifically, we've worked with like the New York Red Bulls, the New Jersey Devils. A lot of our communications and media studies, they'll work with MTV, NBC. Again, that proximity to the city really helps there. The personalized support I mentioned at Caldwell, we have free tutoring services for all our students. Our advising as well, you work with a professor usually or someone that's knowledgeable about your field of study and helps you set up those classes. We have study abroad programs, which have taken a hit recently, but are on the way back, which is great. Our Office of Accessibility Services goes along with our tutoring, working with students that may need any reasonable accommodations. And then, like I mentioned before, career and planning development. So tuition, like I said, affordability is very important at Caldwell. Those are our two sticker prices you see up there. I don't think any of our students actually pay full price between the FAFSA, financial aid, and our scholarships and grants. We have need-based grants, our merit-based scholarships that all our applications are considered for, talent scholarships, different athletic grants, programs of study, and anything you can find outside as well. So we always encourage our students to submit the FAFSA, even if you aren't sure what you might get, it's always good to have it on file. So as I mentioned, we have merit-based scholarships and different achievement awards. So those are listed up there. You can see the ranges. We are working test optional currently, so those are still considered at the same level with or without test scores. We also have Catholic high school scholarships, recognition awards for leadership and service, and our talent scholarships as well. And then the amounts are kind of listed on the side. Athletics, we have 16 NCAA Division II teams. Some new ones we just added are acrobatics and tumbling, and rugby, which isn't an NCAA sport, but it is a club sport, along with sprint football, which is the same as regular football, 11 on 11 full pads, just you have to be under 190 pounds. So some unique programs, especially those clubs, they have the ability to play some cool teams like this upcoming, tomorrow actually on Friday, we're playing Army in sprint football. That's gonna be a home game, so we're really excited for that one. The residence halls on campus, Mother Joseph's, kind of your traditional double style for incoming first year students. Dominican Hall is apartment style, so upperclassmen tend to gravitate towards that one. And then Rosary Hall has some extra quiet hours. We also have a lot of apartments nearby as well. A lot of our students will either commute or live on campus. So when you do live on campus, you can have cars right away as a first year student, and it's free to park. Our on-site laundry is free, and we have a ton of community engagement events, which is really cool. Most of those come from our campus clubs and organizations. We always like to highlight these because they are student run, student led. And if you see the need for a club that doesn't exist yet, you can petition to get it started with some of your friends. That's actually my colleague Amber in the middle. She worked with some students to start a fashion and industry club, and they do a lot on campus. So that's always really cool to see that involvement as well. So this is just kind of what a strong application might include. So we have our SAT and ACT. Like we said, we're currently test optional. So if you feel it represents you well, that's great. If not, that's okay too. Usually 2 letters of recommendation. So those are people that know you as a person. The transcript, we do consider every year. Usually it's the first 3 years. We build based on your core courses, but we can consider that senior year as well, especially if you're kicking butt. You think it might knock you up a little bit for scholarships, bring you up a level. And then also the personal statement, that's usually the essay. That's really important to me. That's the first thing I read when I get an application. So, that's kind of your selling point on who you are. This is just our process. We are rolling admission, so we work with the Common App as well as the our own web-based application. Those are just some of our averages. We have a variety of students that fall above and below that, so that's no problem there. We have support services for students that may be below that, but have demonstrated some improvement, really want to succeed and fit in our campus community. And like I mentioned, the essay and 2 letters of recommendation, we really do enjoy reading those. We do have a quick Instagram if you just wanted to follow us, some announcements and different things there. And then if you need to reach out to us at any point, you can always email or call us. So, and use that chat function if you have any questions at all for me now. So thank you.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Patrick, for sharing that information. This is a reminder of the schedule. We are going to take a 4-hour and 45-minute bike ride from Caldwell University to Rider University. So Susan, go ahead and start whenever you're ready and use that Q&A and send in your questions at any time.
Great. Thanks, Zach, so much. Yes, we are also in the state of New Jersey. So welcome, folks. My name is Susan Mikowski. I am the Director of Undergraduate and Transfer Admission at Rider University, and thanks for joining us. So Rider is a small, private, liberal arts school in central New Jersey. As you can see from the map, we are truly in the heart of it all. We are 15 minutes from downtown Princeton, we're 15 minutes from the New Jersey State Capitol, we're an hour outside of New York City, and we are 45 minutes from Philadelphia. And we are really a nice community atmosphere. We're in a suburban location where housing is guaranteed all 4 years. You may also bring a car to campus all 4 years, although we are 15 minutes from 3 major train stations, 15 minutes from the mall, the movie theater, all the chain restaurants and the shopping, and we have shuttle services available. So if you don't have a vehicle, no worries, we will find a way to get you to and around the area. Campus itself is about 3,600 undergraduate students. You are definitely a name and a face when you are at Rider. We are an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of 17 students. We do not use teaching assistants and we do not use graduate assistants. So you are only taught by the faculty, and 94% of them have their PhD or their highest degree possible. So they really do know what it is they are speaking on, and they are really great experts for you inside and outside of the classroom. Your student body with you, 70% of them are coming from New Jersey and about 30% are coming from out of state. And you'll see that we have a nice diverse geographic set of students, 36 states, 53 countries, 2 US territories. So you're going to be in class with students from anywhere and everywhere, all different backgrounds, all different walks of life. And again, you won't know everybody, but everybody who needs to know you is going to know you. And I think that's what's such a nice atmosphere at Rider. We do offer about 70 majors of study in those areas that you can see on the screen for you, but that breaks down to these programs of study. So everything from the College of Business, which is how Rider was founded in 1865. We're dual accredited through AACSB for business and accounting. Only 3% of schools internationally are. Or to our College of Education and Human Services for elementary, secondary, middle school, special ed, early childhood, ESL, bilingual, or business education, you name it, we can probably get you prepared to have your own classroom. To our Westminster College of the Arts, where most of the programs of study are going to require an audition. So you'll definitely want to check out what that requirement will be for you if that's something you're thinking of. And then to our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, where most of our students are enrolled. So whether it's the physical sciences like the bio and the chem, we're currently in the process of finishing a renovation to our science building, or to things in the communication area or psych, criminal justice, you name it. And many of our students stay on for a 5th year for some of those options that you're going to see, or we help prepare them to go into a pre-professional program, pre-med, pre-law, etc. We believe that engaging yourself inside and outside of the classroom is what makes our students successful. So all of our students are required to do some form of an internship, co-op, field work, research, etc. before they're allowed to graduate. We also want them to get involved in service or the arts or leadership, or potentially studying abroad when that's available, because we do believe that that builds their resume and builds them to be ready to go into the workforce, grad school, etc. For those students that come out, 9 out of 10 of them are employed, but there are going to be some that need a little additional assistance. And therefore we have the Cranberry Investment, where they can come back to us and free of charge take additional coursework or participate in a paid internship, something that's going to help prepare them, again, continue to build the resume so that they will be employed. We are an active campus. So we are a Division I university for 10 men's and 10 women's D1 athletics. We also have 18 college club teams and intramural sports. So whether you're going to be on the court or on the field, or whether you're going to be cheering on folks, there's a lot to get involved in athletically. But we do have 150 clubs and organizations. So there's a lot happening on campus. We're also not a restrictive place. So if you want to major in bio, but you want to sing in the choir, we're a great fit for you. So definitely take some time to explore what's available. As far as applying, we have some deadlines coming up, as you can see, and particular to mention are the BFA programs, because they are a single deadline, meaning on November 16th, those options are no longer on the application. Early action is a great option for students, but we would welcome your application at any point during senior year. We do like to see a high B+ student as the student that is enrolling at Rider, and we are a test optional institution. And we have been for years, so this was not something we started with the pandemic. So we're quite comfortable admitting you based on your academic profile with or without test scores. We love to read your letter of recommendation. We love to read your essay. We love to get to know you as a whole person. So we're going to look at you as a whole person as we evaluate you, not only for admission, but also for scholarship. And as you can see, the scholarships range there from $12,000 to $21,000, but then we do have some full tuition options, as well as some signature scholarships based on special attributes that you may be bringing, whether it's a legacy connection or you'd like to get involved in the leadership programs on campus. We want to make this as affordable for you as possible because we want you to be able to consider a public school, a private school, in-state, out-of-state, whatever's going to suit you best. And we'd love to see you on campus because we do believe that that's what's going to give you the best way to feel that this is the right fit for you. So those are the dates that are available. And if I can be of any assistance, please don't hesitate to contact me. We look forward to helping you through this process.
Great. Thank you so much, Susan, for sharing that information about Rider University. Very helpful to learn. Now we're going from the Garden State to the Keystone State, and we're heading a 5-hour drive over to Pennsylvania to Chatham University. Amanda, go ahead and grab screen share from me. And as Amanda's getting ready for that screen share presentation, reminder, send in your questions if you've got any through that Q&A. And Amanda, go ahead and take it away.
All right. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yep, looks
Okay,
good.
Great. Awesome. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amanda Barwise, and I'm the Director of Admission here at Chatham University. Chatham, as we noted, is in Pennsylvania. We are located right in the heart of Pittsburgh, which is a really dynamic, really young, wonderful city to be a part of. Our campus, as you'll see in just a moment, really looks quite idyllic. We're full of old buildings, including Andrew Mellon's summer home when he lived out here. But 2 minutes down the road, you find yourself in an area full of shops and lots of great restaurants. One of the things that our students really appreciate about being right in the heart of the city is that by being a Chatham student, your student ID gets you onto any public transit in the city, as well as free and sometimes discounted access to the museums in our area. So it is both a great place to go and have fun, as well as take advantage of internships and lots of great cultural activities. Chatham actually has 3 campuses. Our oldest one is located in the Shadyside neighborhood of Pittsburgh. So it's our old idyllic park campus, but we also have a second campus that's about 1.5 miles down the road called our East Side campus. This houses our health sciences programs. And then thirdly, we have our Eden Hall campus. This is located about 40 minutes north of our Shadyside campus and is the site of our Falk School of Sustainability and Food Studies. Chatham is incredibly proud to be at the forefront of sustainability and environmental programs. While we offer majors across many different areas, from nursing to biology to business, which we'll talk about in a little bit, we are really, really proud of our sustainability and food studies programs because they're really at the forefront of research and innovation for what we're doing in those areas. I'd also like to note, I'm actually from New Jersey originally, so I can attest to how easy it is to get from Chatham and Pittsburgh to New Jersey. It's really easy to take Amtrak from Pittsburgh to Philly and then hop on the PATCO or NJ Transit to get to just about anywhere you need to be in New Jersey, in case you didn't have a car. Jumping back into our students, we are a relatively small university, big college. We have about 2,400 students that are coming from all over the country. As you can see, about 30% of our students are out of state. And you can see a little bit about the breakdown of our student body here. Academically, Chatham has 3 different schools. One is our School of Arts and Sciences, where you can find everything from biology to business to political science and immersive media. Secondly is our School of Health Sciences, where students can pursue degrees for nursing, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and so on. And then thirdly is our Falk School of Sustainability and Food Studies, which is primarily housed at the Eden Hall campus. We're really proud that while we have 40 different majors, we're constantly innovating. So some examples of newer majors that we've introduced include neuroscience, food studies, and music technology. We're also really proud to be a place where students can really advance their education in an accelerated way. We have a really robust integrated degree program that allows students to pursue their bachelor's degree with us and then go on and do an accelerated master's and sometimes doctoral program in a condensed period of time. Obviously, these are really rigorous programs, so the students who are drawn to them tend to be really academically driven, academically strong students, which is an important thing to keep in mind. But we have a lot of great support, really great faculty advising to coach you along the way. Next, I want to talk about some of the things our students do outside of classes. So obviously with COVID, studying abroad has been a bit of a challenge, but as things have started to lighten up, we're really excited that students can get back to this. And we are so committed to our students being able to study abroad that we actually contribute $1,200 as a study abroad voucher for students to use, whether they take a full semester to study abroad or they take a summer and do a couple-week intensive. This is something that we really think is important to your education, whether you're interested in international business, international studies, biology, it doesn't matter. We really believe that this is a wonderful addition to your education at Chatham. Outside of classes, students are involved in lots of different activities. As you can see, we are a D3 school with a robust roster of teams. But we also have over 50 different clubs that students can choose from our Sustainable Fashion Club to our Cold Case Club, where students listen to podcasts and read reports about cold cases and try to discuss and understand what's going on, all the way through to some of the traditions we host, like harvest dinner and late night breakfast, which happens during finals. The last thing I want to touch on is our application process. It's pretty straightforward. At the bare minimum, we need an application from you from either the Common App or the Coalition app or our Chatham app and your transcript. We do recommend, if you would like to, we encourage an essay or a letter of recommendation, but it is not required. Additionally, we are an SAT and ACT optional school. We have been for a number of years, so you are welcome to submit test scores, but you do not have to. With that, I welcome you to ask any questions in the chat. I'm going to drop my contact information in the FAQ section, so please feel free to reach out if you'd like to learn more. Thank you, guys.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Amanda, for sharing that information about Chatham University. Cool to see you have a squash club. That's awesome. A team rather. Next up, we've got St. Elizabeth University. We're heading back into the Garden State. This is a 5-hour, 48-minute drive from Chatham University to St. Elizabeth University. Go ahead and grab a screen share from me, Kiana, and start whenever you're ready. Students, counselors, remember to use that Q&A and send in your questions that you've got for our representatives. Looks good.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Kiana Frazier. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at St. Elizabeth University. I'm going to just go really quickly on all the wonderful aspects that make St. Elizabeth so great. And then at the end, I will put my information at the, in the chat so that way you can contact me a little bit later. So a little bit about us. We are located in Morristown, New Jersey. We are a small Catholic institution founded in 1899 by the Sister Charity of St. Elizabeth. Originally as an all-women's college. We went co-ed in 2016, and more recently we did gain university status. We're actually ranked second in New Jersey among private colleges and universities for best bang for your buck. So I'll go over a little bit of our scholarships a little bit later, but we do try to make college as affordable as possible for all students. We do like to think we are in a perfect location for students. We do actually have a train station right at the front of campus. It's Convent Station, so you can go right into New York City if you want to take the train to any nearby towns, go to the mall, internships, off-campus employment. The opportunities are endless with that train station right at the front of campus. We're actually not too far from downtown Morristown and Madison. It's actually a 5-minute train ride, or if you want to walk or drive, you can do that as well. So even more opportunities to get involved in the community. You also can have a car on campus your freshman year. So if you are interested in bringing your car on campus, that's totally okay. So like I said, we're about an hour via train to New York City and about an hour and a half drive from Philadelphia. Like I said a little bit earlier, we are a small school. Our student to faculty ratio is 11:1. So if you're looking for a school with individualized attention, tons of support services and tutoring, we do offer a ton of those for students. All of our tutoring is of no cost to the student. We have both in-person as well as virtual tutoring for all students, and it's for all majors. Our virtual options for students that are interested in getting any tutoring, it is 24/7. So if you need help writing a paper at 3 o'clock in the morning, you definitely can just log right on and someone will be there to help you. A little bit about our majors. We have over 40 majors and minors to choose from for students. I do want to point out all the ones that you see in bold with the asterisk at the end. Those are all of our combined degree programs. So we do have some 4+1s for anyone interested in any of those majors. As an example, you can get your bachelor's in criminal justice and your master's in justice administration. So it saves you some time, saves you some money because grad school is expensive. So we want to make sure you get everything done as soon as possible. We do have professional prep classes for anyone that's interested in law, medicine, pre-vet, pre-dentistry. We have some of those classes as well. And we have some partnership programs with other universities. If you're looking to go and further your studies, whether that's in for graduate school and a little bit closer to home, we actually are right next door to FDU and Drew. So we do have partnerships with them as well. So students can actually take classes on their campuses, but they'll pay whatever they pay as a SEU student. We do have a couple of Jumpstart programs for students to make sure that they are successful and are prepared for college. We have our EOF program, our honors program, as well as our Global Scholars program. EOF, a lot of students are familiar with as New Jersey residents, so I won't go into too much detail regarding that, but our Global Scholars and our honors program, our Global Scholars is typically for our lower GPA students. It is a bridge program that helps prepare you for the rigor of college coursework because it is completely different from high school. And then our honors program is higher achieving GPA students, is more of an accelerated learning opportunity. So when you're looking at your general education courses, you're taking a little bit more fast track courses within that. And you also have a 3-year or 4-year track. So anyone in our honors program has the opportunity to graduate in 3 years if that is something that interests them. With all 3 programs, students will move on to campus between the end of their senior year and the beginning of their freshman year here at St. Elizabeth. They'll participate in classes, different events, workshops, things like that. Should you pass all your classes, you do receive up to 10 credits before your fall semester. All 3 programs is of no cost to the student, so it is free programs for you. So all you have to do is just show up, move in, and it's easy credits at the end of it. So I definitely think it's a great opportunity for anyone that is interested in doing it. We also have our SAU Promise program. So we designed this to make sure that students are job ready. So whether that's through internships, workshops, mentorships, advising, things like that, we want to make sure that you guys are successful after you graduate. Should you participate in this program, and if for whatever reason you are not employed or in a graduate program within 6 months after graduation, we will hire you back for a 6-month paid internship. So we try to, again, we want to make sure that you are successful because you never know what's going to happen your senior year if you end up changing majors or anything like that. So this is just an example of that. We are a Division III institution, so you will not receive any athletic scholarship. You're playing mostly for the love of the game, but we are still in a competitive conference. Here are the list of all of our sports. If anyone is interested, definitely let me know, and I'll definitely put in the chat the information for our athletic liaison. And then a little bit more into student life. We do have 2 residence halls. They're both co-ed. So we also have tons of clubs, organizations for students to choose from. You also have the opportunity to start your own club if that's something that interests you. And then through our Experiential Learning Center, that's where our SEU Promise program comes out of. But we also, that's home to our on-campus jobs, workshops such as resume and interview readiness, study away, as well as all internships. So affordability, like I said, we want to make college as affordable as possible. So 98% of our students receive some form of scholarship. So our average financial aid package is about $33,000. So whether that's merit-based or non-academic scholarships, we do try to make it as affordable as possible. And then our application process, it is quick, it's easy. We are on the Common App as well as on our website. We have all you need from you is your transcript, 2 letters of recommendation, and your personal essay. We are test optional and we do not offer an application fee. And then the last thing, I do hope that you follow us on Instagram. We do have tons of events that we're hosting. They are all on our Instagrams and we are posting them. And I'll definitely will put our visit page in the chat, but thank you for having me.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kiana, for sharing that information. And last but not least, we're going to Adelphi University. We are going from the Garden State to Garden City, New York for Adelphi University. Michael, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Zach, for these really fun transitions, definitely keeping it entertaining. And thank you all for sticking around through the whole presentation. So my name is Michael Cartusiello. I'm an Associate Director of Admissions at Adelphi University. I'm really excited to talk to you all today and tell you a bit more about Adelphi. So you've probably heard a lot of similar things so far, so I'm going to try and keep it different, try and keep it brief. We're definitely a student-focused institution, as are some of my other colleagues here. We do have a genuine average class size of 21 students. The largest class you're going to find is actually 50. That's it. We don't have large lecture halls. We do our best to cap a class at 35 students. So it's going to give you that smaller school feel, but with over 5,300 undergraduate students coming from all over the country, all over the world, and over 90 active clubs and organizations. There's a lot of people to get to know, a lot of people to meet, a lot of friends to make, a lot of opportunities as well. Going to give you more of that bigger school feel too, but still definitely remembering our 10-to-1 student faculty ratio and making sure that our students are getting a lot of personalized attention. Something that I really love to highlight here, though, is that 95% of our graduates are either working or pursuing graduate school within 6 months of graduation. So there's lots of reasons to go to college, but one of the biggest ones is definitely advancing your career. So we have over 50 different majors to choose from, but they all fall under 6 different schools. We have lots of different majors in our College of Arts and Sciences, everything from performing and visual arts to the harder sciences, biology, chemistry, physics, English, history, creative writing. Criminal justice has been popular as well, all over the place. We do have our College of Education and Health Sciences. We have a 5-year education program as well. The College of Nursing and Public Health. Nursing is definitely one of our most popular majors at Adelphi, and it's a direct admit program. So really exciting. You don't have to take that test midway through. If you're accepted as a first-year student, you're guaranteed a spot all 4 years at Adelphi. We have our whole School of Psychology that goes all the way up to the clinical PhD. We also have a School of Social Work, so really giving you the opportunity to explore the broader field of psychology and lots of different opportunities in the counseling profession. Last but certainly not least, and you can see the photo here from our trade room, we have our School of Business, over 5 different business majors, and located in Garden City, New York. We're right outside of New York City. Great access to New York for a lot of different reasons, but one of the biggest ones are internship connections. So we do have several signature programs as well. We have our Honors College, definitely for the high achieving student, as well as our Livermore Global Scholar program. Also for the high achieving student, Honors College is more humanities, Western philosophy focused. Global Scholars is for the students who are passionate about social justice, global awareness, civic engagement. I also mentioned internship opportunities. Well, Global Scholars actually have the opportunity to intern at the United Nations, which is really cool because we have faculty fellows at the UN. We also offer a lot of 4+1 programs. So aside from being undecided friendly with a lot of options, we also have the opportunity to accelerate a lot. So you can certainly get your bachelor's and master's in education in only 5 years. We also offer that for psychology, for social work, for business, for computer science, and nursing. We also have joint degree programs in a wide variety of fields, usually pre-medicine, pre-physical therapy, pre-law, pre-dentistry, veterinary medicine as well. And we partner with a whole bunch of prestigious institutions across the country. Definitely drop something in the chat or Q&A if you do want to know a little bit more about any one of those specific programs. Adelphi is also really well known for our support programs. We have 2 fee-for-service programs. One is Bridges to Adelphi, which is for students on the autism spectrum. The other is the Learning Resource Program, which is for students with diagnosed language-based learning disabilities or ADHD. Separately included in the cost of tuition, any student who needs accommodations, we have our Student Access Office, and they are really phenomenal about providing those accommodations to you. So we definitely love to show off that we are growing, we are expanding, and these are photos from our recently opened and recently renovated University Center. I think it's been a huge commitment from the Adelphi administration to make sure that the building where our students are going to spend most of their social time is as beautiful, modern, fun, and up to date. You can see that we have our outdoor amphitheater, which was designed pre-COVID, but now post-COVID, it's a really great event space that is COVID friendly, being outdoors, still showcasing events. We have a brand new state-of-the-art food court, which is really delicious, lots of great options, beautiful student lounge space, and of course, my favorite, the fully franchised Starbucks. So lastly, definitely want to talk about some of those application requirements. We are test optional, and we are also rolling admission. So it's all definitely about you, apply at your choice, apply whether with testing or without testing. We accept either the Common App or the Adelphi application. Just make sure you include that essay, and I recommend sending along a resume as well. We're going to look at your official high school transcript, looking at a cumulative GPA through your freshman, sophomore, and junior year. The average GPA we've seen come in is about a 3.5. Should you want to apply with testing, our average test scores we've seen recently have been around 1160 on the SATs or 24 on the ACTs. Feel free to send us more than one letter of recommendation, but we only require one. As I mentioned, we're rolling admission, so there's no hard deadline, but should you want to apply early action, you are welcome to. That deadline is December 1st. Just make sure you get your application in sooner rather than later so that you can get your decision from us as soon as possible, because that May 1st, that National College Decision deadline, that's a hard deadline you really want to make sure you have a good outline for. So lastly, you will be considered automatically for scholarship. As you can see, 94% of our students are receiving some form of financial aid or scholarship. You can definitely scan the QR code to learn more about that. But really, I'm done. Any questions you have, drop them in the chat.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Michael, for sharing that information. We have just a few more minutes left before we conclude this session, so I'd like to encourage all of my panelists to go ahead and turn your cameras on. We're going to do Brady Bunch style, and I'd like for us to think about the students that are here live, but also students that are watching the recording, and give me a piece of advice, a tip that you got for someone that's starting to go through the college search process. We're going to go in order of presentation, so I'm going to go ahead and stop screen share, and let's go ahead and start. So that would be Joe. What advice do you have for students going through the college search process?
To ask lots of questions and to really keep an open mind. But my best piece of advice is to not only listen to what your friends are doing. So think independently. Don't go for all the popular schools. Really find what's going to help you be successful when you decide to apply and eventually enroll at that school.
That is wonderful advice. Next up, Caldwell. Patrick, what advice do you have for students going through the search process?
Yeah, I'd say to piggyback off Joe's just kind of ending point, just really be yourself. Make sure that you are finding the right fit for you. And, just the experience is what you make of it a lot of times. So, you're going to get out of it what you put in.
Excellent. Susan, how about you?
I think off of what Patrick mentioned with fit, that for me is the visit. So whether it's you're visiting schools you've heard of, or to Joe's point, you're finding schools that maybe you're not as familiar with, they could be your diamond in the rough school. So getting that visit helps see if that's the right place for you, because you can tell if you can see yourself there. So definitely stepping out of this when you're ready and getting onto a college campus.
And off of that, just by show of hands, how many of you are accepting campus visitors at this time on your campus? All of you? Joe? Yep. Excellent. Very good. Thank you. Next up, Amanda, tips you've got for students as they start going through the college search process.
Yeah, talk to current students and not just the tour guide. Tour guides are great. They are full of a wealth of information. That is what they are trained to do. So definitely ask them questions, but I also encourage you, if you're able to get on campus, to seek out students who aren't tour guides. Ask them about their experience. Ask them their likes and their dislikes. You'll get a different kind of perspective than what you might get from a tour guide. Just as valuable and hopefully just as helpful.
Great. Thank you, Amanda. How about you, Kiana? Tips that you've got for students?
Sure. What everyone said was literally what I was going to say. So one thing I can't think off the top of my head is definitely when you are looking to apply to all those schools, whatever ones you end up applying to, just make sure that you also have your personal email on there. Just because when you start applying and you're putting your high school, you're not going to always have your high school email. So if and you never know if you end up going to transfer, so we won't have your information at a later date. But another one I also can think of just now is talk to the admissions counselors as well. Like, we're here to help you. So if you have any questions for us, definitely reach out.
Wonderful. And finally, Michael, tips you've got for students?
Oh God, now more pressure because all y'all took like great answers here. I think I just want to echo to stay true to yourself in this process. Really just remember to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You are not a burden. You don't have to do something that doesn't feel right. And just remember that, you know, if your parents are pushing you to become a doctor and you hate the sight of blood, don't do it. You know, go where you want to go.
Great. Thank you all to my wonderful colleagues for sharing this information on your institution, but also on the college search process. We appreciate your thoughts on this process for students and families. Thank you, students and counselors and families, for joining us for this session. As you close this window, a very quick survey will show up, so we do ask for your feedback. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on this session. As I mentioned, we are doing another session that starts in about 14 minutes, and then there's another session after that. So we encourage you to join these colleges for the next 2 hours to learn more about some post-secondary options for you. And finally, we have recorded this session, and those recordings will be posted tomorrow at strivescan.com/New Jersey, the same place you went to register. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and have a great rest of the evening. Bye, guys.